Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about how to hold a violin or viola. When I first started, I loved my first teacher. Okay, but when I first started, this is how I was taught how to hold a violin. And it's not the best way to do it. I'm going to tell you why, but I'm going to show you first of all what I was told to do. Okay, I was told to put my left hand on my right shoulder and then to put my violin or viola up here underneath my chin and hold it like this with my head, because then you knew that this was always going to be pointing upward. Now there are some advantages to doing it this way. One is that you know you're not going to be holding the violin downward, and the other is that there's lots of support for a first-time violinist. But then at some point you have to bring your arm around like this in order to hold it. Okay, now, the cons of this approach, I'm going to show you right now, are that when you hold your violin, yes, you should be holding it with your head. You should also be standing with nice straight shoulders. And if you're putting your arm like this, that makes it really hard to keep your posture right, because you just put your arm across your body. Okay, so when I teach people how to hold their violin or their viola, this is what I tell them to do. First of all, stand up really straight, because this your collarbone up to your shoulder, that's your shelf. And that's where your violin or viola is going to go, is on your shelf. If you slump like this, what happens to my shelf? It is now gone. It's not exist. So where am I going to hold it? Nowhere, because I have no shelf, so it's imperative that you stand up straight. The second thing is to look at your violin. There's this button right here. Okay, this button is really important when you're learning how to position your violin or viola, because it needs to stay as close to your neck as possible. Okay, so if I'm standing up straight and I'm looking forward, and I want to be looking straight forward, I've got this big ridge right here in the middle of my neck, and on either side of that ridge I have a soft spot right here and right here. So when I hold my violin or viola, I want the button to go right into that ridge and then to bring it right down as close as I can to the base of my neck, like this. Start it up high, and then I just sort of trace it down as far as I can get it, and I look forward, not to the side. Okay, now as you can see, I'm standing up straight. There's nothing crooked or weird about the way I am holding this instrument, and I'm just looking straight forward. Okay, now the trick is that you do want to hold it with your head, but you don't want to be going like this. It's not good for your neck. All you're going to do, you're going to keep looking forward, but you are going to turn like this. That way you can hold it with your head. As you see, if I draw out my arm, I am still holding it with my head. But I'm not doing anything that's going to give myself a kink. When you're playing the violin or the viola, it's really important that you're not doing anything that's going to cause you injury. Okay, so that's why I like to teach it this way. When you are playing, you do want to be holding it with your head. It's the only way to get the right positioning, but you don't want to be hurting yourself either. So let me just show you the correct position with your arm when you bring it up. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side. Yeah, I don't know if there's enough room on the screen. Okay, there you go. Now you can see it. Okay, so when you bring your arm up, you want your wrist to be straight. It's like catching a ball. When you catch a ball, you don't catch it like this, falls off, and you don't catch it like this, it falls down. You catch it like this, because this is the strongest position, and this is where you're going to succeed at catching a ball. And this is the exact same position you're going to use when you put your fingers down on your violin or viola. Okay? I want you to note that there's a space right here on my hand. Okay, when I do position my hand, there still needs to be a little bit of space under here, underneath my neck. This is the neck. So I'm not going to be smushing it up like this. Okay, I'm going to be just laying it right here, between the bottom knuckle of my index finger and the first knuckle of my thumb. See the space? Okay, watch what I do. See the space? Okay, and you should be able to wave at yourself with your fingers if you've done it right. If you've done it so that you're up here, you'll be able to wave at yourself, but there will be no space. And if you do it too far down, like this, with your elbow out, you're not going to be able to reach the notes. That's why it's so important to come up as far as you can while still maintaining a space. Can you see it? Sort of. I can't see it. Let's turn it around. A space right here. Okay? So for those of you wanting to know how to hold the violin or the viola with correct technique in a way that you're not going to injure yourself, this is what you need to come away with. 1, you should be standing up straight, and you should be having the button as close to your neck as possible so that when you hold it, you aren't having to be a contortionist. 2nd, when you bring your arm up, you want this wrist to be as straight as possible. You want there to be space underneath the neck. You still can't see it. How do I, there you go, underneath the neck. And you want to be able to wave at yourself with your fingers. So for all those who might be using this video to figure out how to do it, those are the things you need to remember. Have a good day.